Hi guys, thanks for joining me again today and practicing on this new yoga journey of virtual yoga with me. Today we're doing another full spectrum class with the generalized focus on the hips. So we'll do some more hip stretching, but it will be the same or close to the same warm-up sequence that we've done that we did yesterday. So let's get started. In a comfortable seat. I'm going to sit on a block today. My hip is a little tender from sitting a little too low yesterday, I think. So I'm going to sit a little bit higher today. So in our comfortable seat, we'll take a belt or a strap or a towel to warm up our shoulders here. I'm going to inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Use this movement to connect to your breath, keeping your spine tall, your sits bones grounded. And use this gentle movement to arrive on your mat. Those of you that have practiced with me before know that this strap should remain nice and firm. Not a lot of slack in it. However, you want your arms to stay straight as you're moving it back. If you get to this point and it's too much sensation in your shoulders, you can widen your arms. So you want the arms to stay straight, but the strap to stay strong. So after a few of those rounds, I'm going to move my hands a little closer together. Keep breathing. Inhale on the up. And exhale forward. Inhale on the up. Exhale back. Last one, up and forward. Good. So let's remove the block. Crisscross your feet, stand up on your knees, and we will come directly into Thai Goddess pose. So for those of you that aren't familiar with that one, you're going to tuck your toes, sit back on your heels, and sit up straight, nice and tall. Bring your hands into prayer position. Keep your back straight, spine long. Always, if you've noticed, I always feel like I have to roll my right shoulder back. I have a right shoulder that feels incredibly different than my left. From here, I want you to sit up onto your knees without moving your spine. So let's imagine you have a book on the top of your head and you don't want it to move. So push up and push down. One more time up. Now lower the feet so the tops of your feet are on the floor, and let's try it. This way is a little bit harder because you don't have the pressure of your feet, of your toes pushing into the ground. All right, last one. Up. Let's come to all fours. Come to our stable table right here. So your hands will be close to being under your shoulders and your knees close to being under your hips. Now take your right leg back, stretch it as long as you can. Feel the back of your leg lengthen. Feel your heel push towards the back, towards the wall behind you. Now we're going to lift that leg up at hip level, and I want you to rotate the leg inside the hip socket, okay? So we're going to, about 5 or 6 times, just open up those toes and point them back to the ground. So without moving your hip, we're just rotating the leg. Connect with your breath. Bring the knee back down and let's switch legs. So stretch the left leg back, long and strong behind you. Again, your right foot, the toes can be planted. Lift the left leg up to hip level. Keep it long, strong. And I want you to open that leg. So rotating in the hip socket. Don't let yourself collapse into your right leg. Keep your right leg strong, your arms strong, pelvis level. And breathe. Good. Stretch the right leg long again. Stretch the left arm out in front and lift that right leg. And we're going to tuck. So elbow to knee on an inhale. Touch. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, touch. Exhale, stretch. 3. Last one. Hand to the floor, knee down, and switch legs. Stretch. Reach the right arm out, left leg up. Feel like someone's pulling you apart here. Keep your balance on your right knee and touch elbow to knee on an inhale. Elbow to knee. Stretch, exhale, and touch. In, out. Last one, in, out. Hands down, knee down. Let's reach that right leg back. Again, left arm out in front. Lift the leg to hip level. Bend the knee and reach back with your left hand. Pushing into the ground, strong with that right hand. Keep kicking into your left hand and stay tall and breathe. Release, hand to the mat, knee to the mat, and switch sides. Stretch your left leg long, left leg up, right arm long, bend the knee, and grab with your right hand. And kick into your hand as you push into the mat and breathe. Stretch long, together, and push yourself back into a child's pose. So hips sitting on your heels, arms long in front. Let's raise our fingertips, raise our up onto our fingertips, sorry. And feel that. We call these sometimes spider fingers. That's what my teachers at Yoga East have always called them. So stay on your spider fingers and feel that sensation in your shoulders, how it creates a little extra stretch. When I first started practicing yoga years ago, I was not able to take my fingers up. My shoulders were so tight. This was too painful. But little by little, they have started opening up. Plant your hands, lift your head, and from here, we're going to go into a downward facing dog. So tuck your toes and push your hips up and back. It's our first downward dog of the day, so let's prance it out. Walk your dog, however you want to call it. We'll bend one knee, straighten the other, bend the other knee, straighten the other. Doug Keller likes to say, pick up the beach ball with your elbows, so swing them out wide, pick up the beach ball with your elbows, and then straighten. I like how that really helps activate the shoulder girdle and makes my arms feel like they're just sitting right in that shoulder socket better. And breathe. Press into your finger pads. Tighten your legs. Engage your stomach. Look between your hands and walk your feet forward. Here we're going to take our hands, we're going to massage the back of the legs. Massage behind your knees. Massage your hamstrings, the outer hips, the glutes. And I like to take my fingers and put them in my hip creases to help me fold forward a little more. Always gives me a little more freedom. Keeping the legs engaged, fold forward. Engage those glutes so we're not overstretching the hamstring. And breathe. Pushing into the mat with your feet, use your strong legs, hands to your hips, and come up to standing. Reach the arms up in front, all the way up to the ceiling. Go as tall as you can. And release, hands back to your sides. Let's reach the right arm up. Take your left hand to the right side. I want you to kind of massage this flesh and help this skin reach up towards your arm. Take your left fingers around, rotate that shoulder, rotate the arm bone. So your hand is going to point behind you. And keep taking that hand and pushing your right arm up as high as you can. Reach, 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 reach. And on an exhale, release. You should feel your right arm a little. Should feel like it's a little longer than the left now. Get the left arm forward and up. And we'll do the same thing here. So take your right hand. And we're going to lift that skin, slightly massaging the flesh. Lift up to that armpit. Should be a little sweaty by now, gross. Take your hand, the right fingers behind or around your deltoid muscle and rotate that upper arm bone so that your palm is facing behind you. And extend that arm, reach all the way up through your palm, reach, 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 keep breathing, and relax. Now hopefully both arms will feel a little more even. And let's stand in Tadasana, mountain pose, and breathe. Feel what it feels like to be waking up your body. We're going to do 3 rounds of Sun Salutation A. So for those of you that don't know, I will be walking you through those steps. So feet together, hands at your sides. On an inhale, take your arms forward and up, looking at your thumbs. On an exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half forward fold, head looks up. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to a plank or to chaturanga, or you can lower to the floor. From here, go into cobra position with your legs zipped up behind you, hands right underneath your shoulders, squeezing your shoulder blades together. And we'll press the knees into the mat, tuck the toes, push our hips up and back into downward facing dog, and hold for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet in between your hands. Look up and fold forward. On an inhale, take your arms forward and up, looking at your hands. And Samastitihi. Second round. On an inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, head up. Exhale, plant your hands, and you can step, jump, or hop back to chaturanga or plank. Coming into upward dog or baby cobra. And on an exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. And hold. Keep breathing. Look forward between your hands. And somehow, some way, get your feet forward in between your hands. Look up. Hands should be on the mat or on your shins here. And fold forward. And on an inhale, hands look up. Namaste. Inhale, up, to. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, somehow, some way, get your feet back. And you can lower to the floor or pass through chaturanga. On an inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale to downward dog. And hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, keep breathing. 5, look forward between your hands. Walk, step, or jump your feet forward. Look up. And fold. On an inhale, take the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands back to your sides. So our warm-up is finally complete. Now we will go through a short lunge sequence, which those of you that practiced with me yesterday may be familiar with that sequence. We did it yesterday, and I also have done it several times in the class that I taught for skaters at Yoga East. Reaching up on an inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands. Inhale, look up and step your right foot back. On an inhale, scooping water up with your hands, reaching up, Anjaneyasana. Hands could be together, or shoulders, if you're tired, you can keep your arms apart. And breathe. We're going to bend a little, kiss the mat, come back up. Reach the arms out to the sides. Take your chest to your left thigh. This is where I like to open my left foot a little bit so I have room for my hip bone. So chest to the thigh and hold. Step your right foot in a little bit and push off with your strong legs into warrior 3. And breathe. Keep that standing leg active. Keep your leg in the air active. Bend the front knee. Reach long and wide behind you. Step the whole foot down. Scoop water up into warrior 1. Virabhadrasana A. And breathe. Take our hands to the mat. Step back to a plank. And we'll switch sides. So right leg forward. Scooping water up. Hands up. Looking up at your hands if that feels comfortable. If not, you can look straight ahead. And breathe. Bend and kiss the mat. Just a quick little kiss. Take the arms back behind you. Open up that right leg a little if you need to make space for your right hip bone. Chest onto your thigh. Feel the back of your left leg engaged, your right glute engaged. Step your foot in slightly and push off with that strong right leg and balance. Get that body as long as you can and breathe. Make sure the foot that is in the air is still active. Squeeze your shoulder blades together so your back stays engaged. Now bend the front knee, reach way back, whole foot down, scoop the arms up into Virabhadrasana A. Hands to the mat. Step back into plank. And here we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your right leg, step your foot out to the outside of your right hand. You can lower your back knee. If you're needing a little break here or if this is too intense of a stretch. Keep your arms engaged here. Keep your glutes engaged. Should feel a little bit of sensation on your right hip here. And I often feel it on the front of my left leg as well. Leg can be long behind you. And breathe. If it feels comfortable for you, you can take a block and rest your elbows here and just kind of rest. Staying engaged, but relaxed. Hands to the mat. Come up onto your tiptoes, the back foot, and step back into a plank. Downward dog. And let's pedal out our feet. Back to plank. Take your left foot forward, step it to the outside of your left hand, lower the back knee so you can really lengthen out that leg. Top of the foot on the mat. You can stay on your hands here, or you can go onto a block. Sometimes I need a block because my arms are short and it's hard for them to reach the ground, particularly if I am a little tight any given day. Or you can lower onto elbows onto that block. If you don't have a block, feel free to use a large book. Right hands on the block. Place your hands to your mat. Step back to plank. Somehow, some way. And we're going to slither forward or shoot our shoulders forward in a chaturanga. Lower the knees to the mat. You can lower your shoulders too. Keep your legs zipped up together. Raise up into a cobra or an upward dog. And on an exhale, down and back into downward facing dog. And hold. As you get more comfortable in your practice, downward dog becomes more of a resting pose. Haven't really gotten there yet. Look forward between your hands. Walk your feet, jump or hop your feet in between your hands. Look up. Fold. And on an inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, hands to your sides. Stand in Tadasana. Just turn to face the long edge of your mat. And we'll stand here and breathe. Notice how your body feels after that intense warm-up that we just did. Okay, we're going to do a couple standing postures before we move on to some stretches. If you have blocks, you might want to use them, one behind each foot. If you don't, you can simply put your elbow onto your thigh when we get there, when we get to the pose. So let's step our feet wide enough to be under your wrists. Legs should be about as wide as your arms. Engage your core, engage your legs. Turn the right toes out, left toes in slightly. Slide your right hip back a little, but keep your upper body facing the long edge of your mat. As you lean back into the back leg, so this leg can support you, you're going to sit down into your front hip, but keep leaning away. And breathe. The undercarriage of your legs should be super strong here. Keep your feet engaged. Glutes, core, back. Spine long. Now we're going to reach out over this front leg. Take your elbow to your knee, and this left arm is going to scoop out in front of you and over your ear. You want to make one long line from the outer edge of your left foot up through your left hand. If it feels comfortable, take your gaze up to your left hand. Now, if you feel like you can go a little deeper and not lose the strength of your legs, you can take your hand and put it on a block beside your right foot. And breathe. Now take your hand off the block of your knee and reach up just for fun like you're holding a beach ball. Lift your body back up, straighten your front knee, and let's change sides. So left feet out, right toes in. Let your hips turn a little bit, or they can turn a little bit. They're not going to stay facing the long edge of the mat, but your torso will stay facing the long edge of the mat. Now leaning away from the battle, because this is warrior two here. Your weight should be strongly in your back leg, 60 to 70% of your weight. And sit down into that front hip while keeping your weight back. If you need to adjust the placement, you can. Turn your body towards the long edge of the mat and keep your gaze out over your front hand. Soft gaze, strong legs. Lean out over the front leg, take your elbow to your knee, and scoop the right arm up over the ear so we can make that strong line from our right outer edge of the foot through the right fingertips. Staying strong in your legs, sitting low in the front hip. Take the hand to the block if you feel comfortable, and twist the body so that your torso is shining at least to the wall in front of you, if not up to the ceiling. And breathe. Lift the left arm off of the block, like you're holding a ball here. Come back up, straighten your front leg, parallel your feet. Whew. Heel toe your feet together. And let's rest in Tadasana for a minute. Your heart rate should be a little higher now. Just notice how your body feels. Okay. So lift your arms up to shoulder level. And turn the palms up. Keep the neck long, but turn the palms up. Now turn the palms down as far as you can. So Should feel a little intense stretch in the shoulders here and the upper arms. I feel it all the way down through, almost towards my wrist, my forearms. Do that again. So angel wings and bat wings. One more time. Angel wings and bat wings. Good. Now from our bat wings, we're going to take our arms behind, and you can take them into reverse prayer. Like that. Mine aren't all the way there, but I keep trying. Or you can grab opposite opposite elbows or opposite wrists. Okay. So turn your body to the right, to the back edge of your mat. Step your right foot forward. So toes facing the back of your mat, the left toes in sharply. You might need to adjust the width of your stance. If your legs are too close and too much in line with each other, you're gonna have a hard time balancing. Okay, so from here, we're gonna reach long out over the front leg. Keep your legs engaged. Keep the spine long. And go forward as much as you can with a flat back. Once your back starts rounding, let's back out of the pose. Good. Keep both sides of that upper body long. Parsvottanasana. And breathe. On an inhale, come up with your strong legs, keeping your core engaged, and let's turn the other side. Stand tall, lean out over the front leg, and fold. Keep your back leg firmly rooted into the ground or into your mat so we don't lose our balance. Scissor your left hip back a little, right hip forward, and stay strong. And breathe. On an inhale, come up. Parallel your feet, release your arms, and stretch out the wrists, especially if you were in reverse prayer. Stand in mountain pose. Let's turn to the front of the mat. Let's do one vinyasa, or one little sequence. So fan the arms up. On an inhale, on an exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, somehow, some way, step your feet back. Lower to the floor. And on an inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From here, look between your hands. You're going to take the right leg long behind you. Bring the knee towards your nose and step the shin up in front of your hands. Now here I take my left toes, press them into the mat, lift my knee, and try to lengthen the front of my left leg. So that leg is out long behind me. Now here you can take your block or your book, whichever you have available, and push into the block to keep yourself standing up tall. So engage the glutes. We don't want to overstretch here. It's really easy to do. So keep your glutes engaged, legs squeezing towards each other, and breathe. With every inhale, we grow a little taller. With every exhale, we can sink a little lower. So you might need to adjust that long leg again. You can remove the block if that feels comfortable and come to rest on your elbows. Hands to the mat, and we're going to switch legs. So push your back toes into the mat and lift yourself up. Stretch the leg out. Let's prance our legs out. Walk your dog. And other leg. So bring the left knee up towards your nose and place the shin in between your hands. Take your toes and lengthen out the back leg. Keep the pressure, or the energy, I should say, from the top of your foot into your back leg. This is where I like to use the mat for the beginning of the pose. Hands on the block. Using the block. And breathe. Strong legs. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze the legs together. Try to keep your hips squared off towards the short edge of your mat, the front of the mat. And breathe. Again, with every inhale, we grow taller. Every exhale, you might be able to go a little deeper into the stretch. If you can maintain your easy, steady breath through the difficult poses, then that should help you maintain your breath and your steadiness in the difficult times of life. Hands to the mat. Take your back toes into the mat. Push yourself up. And we'll go back to downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Walk your feet towards your hands. And we'll turn and face the long edge of the mat. And you can widen your feet, heel toe them apart. Open your feet a little so your toes are facing out. Yes, this is the way that I like to do this. And lower your bottom. Elbows in between your knees, creating some counter pressure. Keep your spine long. Woo, look at balance. Hands pushed together, keeping your spine tall, keeping your legs strong. If your feet don't go flat, you can always take a rolled up blanket, I'll show you, and put it beneath your heels. A little bit like this. You might find that more comfortable. You might not need your legs to go as wide if you put your blanket between your heels or underneath your heels. Stay tall on your spine and breathe. Now from here, you're going to engage all of your muscles in your lower body and we're going to come straight up. Ready? On an exhale. And up. Let's do that one more time. We're going to sit into our squat. You might feel a little bit of head rush there. This time on an inhale, come up. And breathe. Ooh, I definitely feel a head rush on that one. Good. If you have your blanket there, we're going to go ahead and sit on the blanket. So, if you remember, we use the blanket to sit to keep our hips higher than our knees. So let's come into Baddha Konasana. Their feet, the outer edges of both feet touching. You can remove the flesh from off of your sit bones, so we're sitting right on the edge of the blanket. Keep your spine tall. So take your hands to the inner thigh, push up into your hands to help release the inner thigh, and release. Take the hands below the knee and push down into your knee. And release. We're trying to feel the femurs shooting out to opposite sides of the room at the same time that our muscles around the hips are helping to rotate the femur. That's what's going to let the knees go lower to the floor. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can take a block and put it below your knees, or a blanket or anything that you have to help you, to help support those knees. Stay tall. And take your hands, kind of massage out your feet, and let's peel open our feet like the pages of a book. And breathe. This pose is what Ramadan Patel calls a gateway pose, which means that if you can work on this pose and you become really good at it, then many of the other poses will be accessible to you. Breathe. Take your hands behind your knees, bring them together. Stretch your legs out long in front of you and shake them out. Now let's bring the right foot in, like we're going to sit into cross-legged position, but we're actually going into fire log. So bring the left foot and try to stack it onto the right knee. So our shins are going to be parallel to the long edge of the mat. Left leg is on top. Again, if this is uncomfortable for you, you can support your knee with a block. Or if that's still too much, then you can just go back into easy pose, which is just a simple cross-legged position. Keep your feet flexed so your legs stay engaged. And keep your legs engaged. Feel those muscles. Engage your core. And breathe. This is a real juicy stretch in the outer hip. Take your hand to your left foot and release. And we're going to switch which leg is on top. So bring the left foot in, shin parallel to the long edge of your mat, and try to stack your right foot on top of your left knee. And keep your legs engaged, especially the inner thigh. Flex your top foot and your bottom foot to keep the knee protected. And breathe. Take your hand to your right ankle and release. We're winding down here. So stretch your legs out in front, shake them out. We're going to take the right leg, step it over the left, cross it over. This feels enough for you. You can just place your hands around your right leg and pull yourself tall. If your left knee is healthy, you can bend the leg, keeping the right foot grounded, and bring the left foot to rest near your right hip. Pull with your hands against your knee, against the top of your shin. Take the left hand to the outside of that upper thigh. Reach the right arm behind you, place it on the ground behind you, and pull up tall. Keeping your glutes engaged to not overstretch the right hip, create some resistance with your left hand against your right leg. I also like to reach in and kind of move any flesh out of the way to get a little more twist. And breathe. Look forward. Turn back to forward. Release the arms. Release the legs. And we'll switch sides. So step the left foot across the right. Pull yourself tall. You can bend the right knee. With the hands creating resistance against the shin, with the left foot planted on the ground, we will turn to the left. So right hand to the outside of the left leg. Left arm reaches up and back. Stay tall and breathe. Over your left shoulder if you are twisting in that direction. This is Ardha Matsyendrasana. And breathe. Turn your head forward. Turn the body back forward. Release the arms. And release the legs. Shake your body in front of you. And we are winding down now for Shavasana. So let's lay down on our backs. Hug your knees into your chest, rock around, roll around. Lift your feet up to the sky, take your arms to the inside of your knees and hands to the outside of your ankles. You can bend one leg and straighten the other. And reverse. This is our happy baby. And release. So let's lay down for relaxation. If you need an eye pillow or a shirt or a scarf over your eyes to help relax, that would be totally appropriate here. You can put a blanket or a bolster underneath your upper thighs, underneath your knees, to help release the low back. Take one big inhale and an audible exhale. One more. Reach the arms long overhead. Stretch and release your hands back down your sides. The feet fall open. Backs of the hands on the floor. And let any remaining tension float away for a deep, deep relaxation. Start to deepen your breath. Bring movement back to your body. Finger wiggles, toe wiggles, little tiny circles with your wrists and ankles. Stretch one arm up overhead. Stretch the other arm up. And reach like you were coming apart at your waist. And relax. Step your feet in, keeping your right arm over your head and roll over onto your right side, using your right arm as a pillow. Using the strength of your arms, push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You can keep your eyes closed or open. I'm just going to close today's practice with one Om. You can listen or you can join in. Just feel the vibration. Feel what this practice has done for your spirit and your body and your mind. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to chant. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you soon. Namaste.